here, nothing to contend with, nothing to fight with for the cows, for the cattle. They can get right to this green, nice, luscious grass. Here, they gotta fight through all this. They gotta do one of these deals with their nose, get down in there to get the green grass. Don't like it. It's a little moist. Good morning, guys. Dustin from Misty Hills. Today we're going to be talking about rotational grazing, regenerative grazing, and the maintenance required to keep your grass and your soil at an optimal state for your cows. So what you're looking at right here is a field. This is a small field. They're kind of separated on either side of a fence line here. This field, these pastures, we mowed about 2 weeks ago. It is August 4th in upstate New York. So we have, up until 2 days ago, we have not had any kind of substantial rain for quite some time. A few weeks, actually maybe 5 or 6 weeks really. And you can tell here that some of this pasture is burnt out a little bit. However, underneath the top ends, the burnt ends, there is some green, rich grass, even right here. I think we did a poor job, and I'm hoping that anybody can, or anyone will, comment and give me their thoughts and their experiences in terms of when to cut, when to clip off, when to mow, when to brush hog, when to do what with your pastures. I'll show you some of the other fields that we have and have not cut throughout the late spring and early summer, and now moving into the late summer, what benefits to cutting when. It's a little moist out right now, but we're going to get some brush hogging done before we move the cows back over to where they started, out here in these fields, and then around the mound and up front. And I feel that they've really enjoyed where they are now. They've done a really good job. There's some patches up front as well on the western paddock that they really muzzled down to almost nothing. So what my understanding is that if you cut, you want to cut sooner, because when you cut, especially if you get to seed heads in this longer grass, you allow the green, rich root system and the first 6 inches or so of this grass, or any grass, to absorb the sun, and it'll allow and help it to grow faster and better, richer for the cattle. We waited entirely way too long, in my opinion, and I'll show you what I mean. So we're learning to adjust our schedule of mowing, and I'm going to get some banged out today, and I'll show you that as well. The new quote-unquote Batwing hydraulic folding mower has not shown up yet. I don't believe that we are going to get that from the dealer for another couple of weeks. So we're going to put the older, I don't want to say older, but the smaller, the 6-foot brush hog on back of the M4 071 and get some of this field done, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Probably do this from the other side, huh? So a little different from the last tractor. Taking this top point, top arm link off. It's gonna be a little difficult. Of course, I have grease all over my hands now. There we go. All right. Spinning it to get it out to length, and then we can adjust afterwards to see what kind of angle we want on the brush. Again, this isn't necessarily our end goal with this brush hog. It's definitely not. We have that bat wing on on order. This is 6 foot long or 6 foot wide versus the 12 feet on the brush or on the bat wing style. But we're due to get quite a decent bit of rain over the next week or so. So I want to get a good amount of this done well, obviously it'd be help if I was using the right pin set. There we go. Okay, it's good there. So on the 3560 we had a quick hitch, and I don't know if we're going to end up using one for this, but we'll see. Makes things a lot easier if I'm being honest. However, you know, we got to deal with what we got at the moment, which is what we will do. So this pin here, this release, will allow this arm to swing out slightly wider, come closer to the tire, which, if you can tell, I need a little bit to slide it onto this, pin and lock it in. Look at the bottom of this. You tell me, why would they put that pin like that? It's all bent up, mangled up, not to mention that it's a tiny little pin. Maybe it's just a transport pin. Anybody know? Comments. That took longer than I wanted it to. I went back up to the garage, threw this quick hitch on, because I don't think that this is quite meant for that size 3-point, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just not used to it, but I've been using a quick hitch for a couple years, so maybe I'm wrong. But we got the quick hitch on, leveled that out. Actually, got to put this back into place here. Maybe it's good. And I think we're ready to rock. Got the 3-point, or I'm sorry, the PTO attached. This is the RCR 1272, 72 meaning 72 inches, 6 feet. So we're gonna get out there, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about as far as what we want to try to accomplish and how I feel that we made a mistake this year. Sorry ladies, we're getting it right. And we are off. Again, a little getting used to with the new tractor. Semi-manual transmission. 5 hours on her now. So I'll do another review, I don't know, 25 or 50 hours or so, but until then, let's get going. moral of this whole story. We have to, we're doing our best here to make sure we understand the timing of cutting, clipping, brushing, whatever you want to call it, these pasture paddocks. And I think what happened this year is, with weather, and you can see this hopefully out in front of me, I'm going to take you off too, but with the weather that we've had so far, it's not been easy to determine when to cut because we're beginners. Right now I'm driving through a field where the cows were grazing. They were grazing prior to us moving them just recently. And we cut the field that we just moved them to prior to moving them over there. Cut it down to 12 inches or so. And they seem to be doing a hell of a lot better out there than they were in here. I think we waited too long. So you can see these seed heads. I'll show you when we get out even further. There's seed heads that burnt out, died, didn't fall, but they're sitting up here. So you see a lot of white, tan-ish grass. And underneath this grass, though, I promise you, and you'll see when we get out, underneath this grass is green, healthy grass. Probably 6-8 inches of that. And I think, and I need your help, so please, someone chime in, please, seriously. Like, you know, we want all the comments in the world so I can understand, you know, a broad spectrum of people's opinions and experience. So underneath this tall stuff is healthy grass. So I think if we cut it sooner, then we would allow the green, healthy nourishment to actually flourish. I do believe, first of all, this M4 tractor, ridiculously comfortable out here. The 3560 was nowhere close to this. That's just a little insert. I had no idea and I was a little worried, but this thing, my word, you might be bouncing around a little bit, and I'm sorry, but I'm not. Anyway, I think that if we, oh, there we go. Of course. Let's slow her down a little bit here. I think that if we cut it sooner, or if we don't cut it, my understanding is that the grass underneath almost gets shaded out by the tall, burnt tops, the tips of the grass, and the seed heads basically shade out the bottom grass that needs to get that sunlight in order to grow and maintain a strong bill of health. So let me know if I'm right there, but that's what I've read recently, and I think that to be the case. So if we let it grow like this, we're not allowing the sunlight to actually hit it the way that it should. And you can see right up here, I'm going to show you a line, one part of this field that we actually did try to mow 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, and it's a heck of a lot better looking than this. And the cows, when they get up here, are super excited. They can tell, you know, they can tell what's good and what they don't like, obviously. So I'll show you the difference, and then hopefully you guys can give me your opinions, your experience, and then we're gonna brush some fields and see if it makes any good sense for us. So first, I'm going to show you the difference. Okay, here's the difference. What I'm standing on right now, we cut. Everything in front of me, we cut up to the road line, to the fence line. I don't know if you can see that. We didn't cut here. This is about the line. This is about the line, right here. Green, burnt, with green under it though. And this is what I mean. So underneath this burnt stuff, it's green down there. That looks healthy to me. Someone tell me if I'm wrong though, because I might be, and I can take it, and we'll figure it out. But I think that's the healthy stuff, and even in the middle of this burnt nonsense, this killed out nonsense, down here, we got some good looking, healthy green grass. I got some burnt stuff in there too. But I feel like this is what the cows love. This right here. And it's down there. It's down there underneath and in between all the burnt stuff. So if I can get it to maintain a look like this, I think I'd be much better off, and so will the cows, so will the cattle. And we did the same thing out on this paddock. You can tell, green, not so green. So I'm gonna hit this, and then I'll try to do some of this as well. I don't know how much time I'll have today, but I'll show you the differences. And then, like I said, someone please tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe tell me what we can do. When is there a rule of thumb, or do you just have to play it by ear with the way that it looks, what kind of weather you have, what kind of rain? That's probably what it is. And other than just experience, I don't know how else to figure that out. So help me out. We're going to show you some of the smaller brush hog before we get the replacement. See what it looks like afterwards. Okay, so what you're seeing behind me is some patches of this really tall burnt grass above the strong, nutritious green grass. And what I'm trying to do, please someone help me out if I'm right or not, I'm trying to keep the deck at a height where it's not actually, I don't want to cut down this green grass. I'm not trying to snip that at all. I'm basically just trying to clip off the top ends excuse me, of the burnt fescue and timothy, some orchard, just trying to clip that off so the green stuff, the bottom 6 or 8 inches or so, stays healthy, gets the sun, gets the water, the rain. Obviously the root system will get the rain regardless, but don't want to kill off the green stuff, or chop off the green stuff. I want to keep that there, because when we move the cows back here, you know, they don't like to stick their heads down through that tall burnt crispy stuff. They just want to get right at the good stuff. So I'm trying to do that. Someone let me know if what I'm doing, please, is correct. Looking for all the comments in the world, just to be able, if you don't mind, for me to be able to use your guys' experience and knowledge and expertise, so I can tell if I'm doing things the right way or not. Really want to learn this. We're getting better, I think, but we want to, you know, the best way to learn is to use someone else's past experience if they're willing to teach. And that's part of the reason why we started this YouTube thing. Not that we can really teach anybody, but we do feel that, you know, I am fairly certain that there are probably some people out there that maybe don't really want to ask the questions, if that makes sense. They might be a little anxious or nervous, or maybe even embarrassed to admit to the fact of them being beginners or rookies, which I understand, I do. So maybe if someone like myself who doesn't have that issue saying that I'm a beginner, I don't, you know, I'm okay, totally okay saying that. Maybe if somebody like myself was to ask some questions of those that have a bunch of experience, then maybe it'll help them get the information that they might be looking for without having to actually ask it themselves. So maybe indirectly, I say that as a joke, maybe somebody can learn from us as well, because we're learning, so they can learn with us. Because I'm going to ask the questions, and I hope, even though no one is probably really going to watch this, which is okay also, but I hope you do. I hope that if people do watch it, that we can get some feedback from you veterans out there, and you guys and ladies that really have been at this a while and know what you're doing, and have the knowledge and the desire, hopefully, to want to pass that along to beginners like us. So hopefully, like I said, comment on this, give us some feedback. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? I really want to do it right. I really want to have healthy animals. We're not doing this. I don't think we're going to get rich off of this. I really don't. It'd be nice, but I don't think that's going to happen. But the enjoyment level is there at enough of a level that even though we're not going to get rich, I still want to do it, and we're having fun. That's the name of it. Have fun. Enjoy what you do. Have fun. If you're having fun, all right, now we're in a different field. I didn't finish the other one, but I want to see what difference this is going to make on a field-by-field basis. You can now see the cut line that we're making, what we're driving through just to your right versus what we're creating just behind us, obviously. We did cut around the fence line a couple weeks ago. You can see that. It's already done to your left. I did not do that today. That was done prior. Obviously looks a hell of a lot better than this that we're running over now that we have not done this year. So want to make sure that we do not allow this to happen again. You can see some really thick weeds over here on this far end northeast of our property. Not really liking those. And I think that, again, the plan is if we do this and we do this sooner, what we're doing right now, sooner in the year, earlier in the year, that we can try to do our best to keep those away. And I think it'll keep them away better than it has by letting this just go, which not too happy about, but you live and you learn. If I'm wrong though, again, like I said earlier, like I said a few minutes ago, that's why I'm asking for your opinions. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Okay guys, we're gonna hop out here. We're gonna show you what we've accomplished so far to see what you think. Did a few 4 or 5 passes around the northeast paddock here. Let's turn you around. And this is what I've come up with. You can see these passes that I've made. You can see what we have now showing. Obviously we have some of the dead grass that was clipped and then run over by, I don't like these, but it happens, these tire marks. Maybe I can drag that. I don't know, what do you think? So here's the difference. If I get down here, nothing to contend with, nothing to fight with for the cows, for the cattle. They can get right to this green, nice, luscious grass. Here, they gotta fight through all this. They gotta do one of these deals with their nose, get down in there to get the green grass. Don't like it. It's a little moist because we had some rain overnight. But that's part of the reason why I want to do this now. We're due to get a good amount of rain here in the next week or so. And I wanted to keep this out of the way and allow for some more growth. Am I doing this right? You can see these lines. And in about another half a day, you'll see green, brown, right on the lines. I mean, I want to finish up these fields, but I just wanted to show you what we're looking at. I mean, I don't know, can you see? Yes, we can. So right here, where my finger is, it's a green strip that we mowed a month and a half ago. Over to the right, in front of that barn, we didn't mow that. I don't know. Everything I read, everything I hear says do what we did over here. Don't do what we didn't do over here, which is what we did do. Say that fast 3 times. I don't know, there's a lot of guys out there that we listen to. Greg Judy's one of them, Stony Ridge Farms, another guy, Bar 7 Ranch. They all talk about doing the same thing. I believe that, well, we're all in different regions, but you know, weather's weather. Whether you have it up here, you have it down in Kentucky, you have it out in you know, Texas. I mean, weather doesn't discriminate. Wherever you are, it doesn't mean that it acts differently. You might have different weather, but when you have the same weather, it's the same one, you know, regardless. So, I don't know. Please let me know your thoughts. Look at these big old weeds that it's just, I can't stand looking at them. We got to get rid of them. I appreciate it, as always. Give me all of your input, please. We're really looking to figure out, you know, how to do this. Make sure we're doing it the right way. And subscribe, follow along with us, like this video, please. The comments, we need all the help we can get. Most importantly, have fun. Talk to you guys soon.